Hello there everyone and welcome back. I gotta say it's really nice to be back with the Imperial Navy. For one, like I mentioned last episode, having them all at level 10 means I don't have to worry so much with them getting destroyed and having that conflict of interest in trying to play for the long cause of war, so that way all my ships can continue to get their upgrades in, get in their enhancements, so that way there can be a real fearsome threat like all my other fleets currently, and having to try and commit everything to trying to get a victory, especially when I'm facing off against a difficult opponent there, or at least a higher level opponent that's going to make for like an intense type of battle. There is always that little dynamic, but no, we're going to try and continue to bring our A game at least as much as possible. And if I continue to get like newer opponents, well, we can spice things up quite a bit, although I do need to kind of switch out some of these ships if I want to get these things truly dynamic. For the only thing that's drastically different are my two Dauntlesses here with the Mechanicus favor, and that's mainly to kind of serve like critical roles that I am lacking in otherwise. For one, the recon beacon for his one Dauntless and additional auger disruptor for when micro warp jump and a very mobile evasive fleets are very problematic. At least having these available to me at least allows me to keep constant vision of a target, like say for Chaos for example when I bring down their shields, and Auger Disruptor is very self-explanatory for denying the micro warp jump. And as I get more accustomed and more comfortable with certain playstyles like the torpedo zap cannon strategy I had to go up with before, which is part of the reason why I made this change for an additional light cruiser with Auger Disruptor at least. Once I get more comfortable with them, maybe I can start switching them out and make it more generic so that way I have more options available to me. But let's continue on, shall we? Alright, let's see, Undead Prince R. I have no idea what to make of this, especially with the name Solare involved. All I know is it just hung on me when Undead Prince was Chaos there before. It was going to be a 700 point cruiser clash, so we could be getting trolled by Solare right now. It could be another player, for all we know. Either way, this will be interesting. 600 points too, and I'm defending a space station assault. And if I learn anything here, if he has massive Earth cache favors, I'm going to be forced to come to him with a point deficit. And the Dictator is going to play a very important role in this and try to deny the potential of the Custodian. This could be awkward for me. Do I really want the Dictator in here? Hard to say. Honestly, hard to say, and I do question the Widowmakers to a vague extent. At least a little bit. I'm just not going to have a lot of raw firepower, but if the torpedoes can somehow break through, what I expect is going to be either Protectors or Custodian, then they could do some good damage, but I am in a bad position for possible Earth cache favors. Possibly. I can play really damn slow, so long as I don't make it that my cruisers are getting hit as well by experimental railguns. Since it's going to play out probably very similar to what happened in the Championship Series when Solare, at least, or actual Solare, was utilizing Earth cache against me. We'll see. I don't know what this is. What are you saying? I have no clue. Probably didn't pay attention to the objectives. That might be an indication. Either way, until we see the actual experimental railguns, I'll just play as cautiously and just have myself barricaded, at least as close as I can to the space station. Ideally, not directly in front of it for said experimental railguns, but at least this way, the space station's defenses will also contribute nicely here. We're going to be playing a very slow game with that said, and where do I want to put my mines? There's not really much good places, because if I'm forced to engage, the mines are going to be more of a deterrent, since the range on the experimental railguns is well outside what range I can even shoot at. There's not much I could do here. There's not really much to kind of utilize these mines to the best of their ability. I gotta be very mindful that these are probably going to get used against me. There's a good chance of it anyway. So let's just use them to narrow down where the town might be comfortable to kind of fly through, and at least there's still openings for me to utilize. Let's just try and spot them and play this by ear. Okay. So this is looking very similar to before. Maybe this is Solare. Just somehow changed username or something, or an alternate account. Maybe. At least this is looking exactly like what it was before when I fought Solare with his troll fleet. His arguably meme fleet, as he would call it anyway. It has potential. I've never felt comfortable utilizing the point defense, focus strategy, mind you, but it has close range potential when you add the railguns on top of it. And it is a lot of point defense, so I'm not expecting these torpedoes to do a lot, but at the same time I am getting hits. So by all means, continue hitting, continue doing damage. That's all I really need to do, weaken these things out. Only thing I'm really reluctant about is the fact that if I were to try and utilize these Cobras, it's strictly the Imperial Navy's ability to summon Cobras from what I understand, that the game is eventually going to crash if I just try and reinforce my own fleet, so I am being handicapped because of that, where Solare, I don't think the Nikasar favor will actually crash the game. I'm the only one suffering from that, so I'm going to be forced to kind of hold back for that reason. Oh well, there's the use out of the dang things, and we are getting hits on the cruisers, which I'm fine with. I'm going to be a little bit outnumbered, slightly at least, because of that reason. I'm not going to be able to freely reinforce without the risk of it crashing, because it only actually crashed on me once from the favors, and this was due to an actual space station assault as well. So I don't know what the exact count is, if there is, but we're getting amazing hits on these frigates, so you're making my job easy, Solare. Well, not much I could do here. Let's just try and maximize damage and get my torpedoes ready. Although, I need to make sure my prow is soaking as much firepower as well. And I have a dictator, let's not kid ourselves. I have railguns, I have weaponry to contribute, and more torpedoes. I just gotta remember, one of those is... let's see, they're all Daedalus actually, so I gotta be mindful of the massive amount of bombers. Alright. I saw... oh, I don't have brace for impact up for you yet, but I do have repairs. With that said, we are outlast him at least. He's going to run out of Nikasar incredibly quickly. I'm going to have brace for impact up in a moment. And this thing is crippled. I'll let it hang back for time being, because I got a lot of shield transfers too. Well, I did if it actually would matter. Just kill these things. Just destroy what you can there. This will be hanging back and just contribute its firepower. These things will die relatively quickly. I just gotta make sure I'm focusing my target really damn well. Because the brace for impact means crap. I just gotta make sure these bombers get shot down, maximize my potential. Since now he's got himself spread out, he can't really contribute the best trying to do damage. And I have shield transfers on this thing, so let's utilize it. Come on, I want you to rotate. You can do it there. Insubordination, perfect. Now, let's go in there and try... okay. He's just going to try and repulse. That's fine. Let's just use this to our advantage. We have two... I think it's now time to use the Cobras. I'm really damn paranoid because the fact is probably going to crash the game. That's my risk, because there's going to be another projector with that said. So there's one more. Where is it? It's from the one on the far left, that's what. Alright. Finish these off quickly. Point defense don't mean much. Once these things start dying, this will help a ton. Also, I should try and... what is it? Brace... do my boarding to maximize damage potential, because I have a bunch of Cobras. Let's kill these things quickly. I do have a brace for impact. I have a repair. Actually, I don't know what else I can really do here. I am still hesitant. He's still got a lot of work to do for actually killing these things. The Dictator last is gonna die, but the bombers are gone. Ooh, and we just killed all the ships in the process, so I'll happily take that. I will happily take that. 10-10 RAM. Yeah, my RAM did more. Yeah, my RAM with the space station was more vicious than your RAM, I'm afraid to say. So I think the space station won.
Resuming normal functions. Cruising speed set.
Now, let's kill these things quickly. It's not going to be likely. It's going to be close. Do I have shield transfers?
Your orders?
I do, but I have to get in close. Let's get everything going. This thing will die quickly, and I have shield transfers to help. Well, once I get close enough. There we go, shields are up. Finish this thing now. I think I'm in with 3,000 range. Okay, I guess it's not the same person. Maybe? Because I figured Solare would have had multiple days to try out this fleet. There's merit to it. Again, a lot of my mindset was I was really hesitant to summon these Cobras, because at some point it's going to crash the game. Although, I don't think I really lose anything at that point. Just kill this thing now. Oh, I might just destroy my own space station if I'm not careful. Okay, that's over. We just barely won. I probably misplayed that a little bit, although we were killing those frigates relatively well. Again, you need to put the effort in dodging torpedoes, I suppose, which can be tricky. Yeah, that was a weird match. Especially since I'm undergunned a little bit, so it was risky to kind of get close. Especially away from the space station too. It's 600 points for me, 700 for... at least the Tau. At least we're a Tau player there. So... I don't know what else to really say there. I'm trying to think how I could improve that. It would really be trying to ram his Nikasar, get rid of them as quickly as possible. That's scary because of all the sheer number of bombers that I'll have to concern myself with. Especially since my Dictator was pretty useless at that point of the game. Which makes me wonder if I should have gone with a tire, add a little bit of macro cannons and raw firepower to deal with those those Nikasar that much quicker, or not. So it's a rematch here. I was kind of hoping our Undead Prince would go back to the Chaos Fleet. I would have been interested to see that, or at least maybe another fleet. Especially after a response that they weren't really happy with how the fleet composition seemed to work out. Now, just begs the question, are we going to see that strategy again or not? Since there are still 3 Protectors, there's still a Custodian, and God knows what they have for their auxiliary ships. More often, not strongholds, so... we need to still try and play this seriously. What would be the best strategy? Probably... I'm still concerned about the bombers. That's really what it comes down to. The bombers are the big concern. I like this composition for it allows me to get the Widowmaker. Can we switch it up some? The Retribution could come in here. I'm not going to have the points. Yeah, the big scary thing here. I could go with the Overlords too. How does that look for my fleet though? For I'm not going to have a Widowmaker. Which is the big problem with this. And apparently it won't let me select a Widowmaker. Tell me how this makes sense. There we go. I don't like this because I don't have like firepower and health to kind of shield my ships. And we have 40 seconds, so... I kind of like the Tyrants a little bit better, mainly because when I do potentially get in close, the Tyrants are a lot more potent. God damn it. Everything's messing up now. Where the hell are my ships? This is not what I want, but I guess I don't have a choice. Something's lagging out on me. I have 17 seconds. Can I at least get another Tyrant? Thank you. I'm not going to have a Dictator. That's the problem. So I'm vulnerable to bombers again. But since we don't have the space station to kind of like make it a lot more likely for my Cobras to crash the game, which... as I said before, it only happened once, at least from my personal experience, but I heard from others that Imperial Navy favor crashed as a game in that, but the only time it happened to me was in said space station assault, and that's because it's so much more exacerbated, or a lot more likely because the space station also allows you to spawn like 3 Cobras, which is probably the main reason why it happened there. My opponent at the time was also an Imperial Navy player, was fielding an Imperial Navy fleet. I just don't remember if he had the favor as well to really make that an extreme sense, though. So I'm still a little bit wary of that experience, but at least this time I'm a little more comfortable because there's only 4. I'm only able to summon 4 Cobras at once, and more often than not, I'm just going to use them to try and shoot down fighters. And at least that's the attempt. I have a handful of shield transfers to help mitigate. And at least a lot of damage when my broadside's kind of facing them when I want to try and do damage. All the other time I want to try and use my prow as much as humanly possible, because that brace for impact in combination with that is going to be great. So 8 ships. Understood. There's our Custodian. I know what to do here.
Activating tactical
I'm going to
cogitators.
utilize my decoys, and this will make sense in a moment here. This probably is not going to work out the best I want. Probably not going to work out to what I like, since these decoys are actually moving towards everything else.
Awaiting orders.
The intention is to have
Setting course.
these first salvos so far enough away
Your command.
and at a distance away from the custodian that the fighters are nowhere near the custodian when the second wave arrives.
Ready.
So that was a bad execution, partly because I almost never utilized the decoys since it's strictly meant for the custodian. It works really damn well though when done right. For you'll see the fighters are being delayed, but as you can see this doesn't really help me. It's supposed to draw them over to the side to help give me that time and window I need. So I still need to work on that a little bit, the timing.
For the Emperor.
And I almost want to kind of have my Dauntless in a separate group with that said.
At your command.
Either way, we'll do 5-second delay this time, see how this goes.
Awaiting orders. Engines hot.
I gotta be mindful of this gas cloud.
Yes,
That's going to be an issue, but if I can get some free chipping damage, especially on a custodian of all things, that'll help a ton. This facing for a Dauntless is still pretty bad, but so long as this... Oh,
taking heavy damage.
experimental railgun, so that's no surprise there. So we are a bit blind there, and yeah, the torpedoes got immediately shot down.
At your command.
But we did get a hit.
Cruising speed set.
We are getting hits at least. Let's just try and utilize that.
Ship ready.
Huh.
Engines hot.
Well, let's see.
Yes, Admiral.
Oh, I already know. I already know how much of a pain they are to aim. I don't really care. Let's just hope we can deal.
Your orders.
Okay, I was wondering why my torpedoes were bugging out some. There's the decoys in effect. It remains to be seen if this is an effective decoy shot or not. Yeah, wasn't as effective as I want, but
Awaiting
we are getting
orders.
chipping damage and a crew war spear to boot. Alright, I'm fine with that. 2 war spears, alright.
Burn retros.
Seeker missiles, we're gonna have to deal with that. I do have Assault Run to help.
Orders received.
And here comes the bombers. Just kill this thing quickly.
Awaiting orders.
I don't know why my things aren't shooting, mind you, but I guess it's because of the macro cans. Alright, let's keep an eye on sensor range.
Enemy ship sighted.
I was hoping this thing would be dead by now, but I guess not.
Resuming normal functions.
Yeah, that's kind of why the Custodian is such a scare right there. I messed it up quite a bit, but let's just kill these things off and I'll have my Assault Run available for me.
Awaiting orders.
That's the plan there. I don't want to brace for impact just yet, because
Resuming normal
so I can't auger disruptors. I completely forgot about that, so
Your orders.
my rustiness is starting to kick me in the ass a little bit, or bite me in the ass.
Retros. Your orders. Resuming normal.
Let's just kill these things. Get this hit in.
Ready. Acquiring new
Now, do damage to the Custodian.
helm coordinates acknowledged.
Unfortunately, it didn't work as well as I like.
Ship
And I don't have additional beacons on here as well, which isn't a big issue just yet.
away.
But can I do damage? I want to kill the engines. Bombers are coming.
Yes.
And I have combustion gauge, so that's going to suck too.
Full.
I was turning the wrong way. I guess brace for impact is a thing here.
Yes, Admiral.
That's the thread the Custodian there. And thankfully it is Earth Cache, but I need to kill
Activating tactical
his
coordinates.
fighters.
Helm
Which
coordinates
thankfully I
acknowledged.
could sort of do with this Cobra here. And there's the micro warp jump, which is also part of what the
Resuming normal functions.
auger disruptor's meant for.
Your orders.
I do have brace for impact. Let's see, no auger disruptor, but I do have shield transfers still. I just don't have a supercharge, but that will be alleviated in a moment.
Brace for impact. Execute high energy turn.
Let's get this out of the way.
Setting course.
Oh, I ran out of combustion. I ran out of combustion gauge there, so not much I could do there.
Acquiring new vector.
I have torpedoes, and macro cannons will be able to regenerate in a moment.
Resuming normal functions.
Now get this tyrant in the way,
Activating tactical cogitators.
since you already used your boost, and that just boosts everything, so I'm fine with that. I have supercharged void shield.
To maximum.
Salt run's not going to do much here, and I have additional prow, so that helps in this regard. Can I at least shoot down these fighters some more? So that way I could potentially punish this thing with some really good torpedoes. For we are going to cripple the dang Crude War Spears really easily. Oh, and I saw I turned on my boarding, my autocast boarding. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I probably only did for a single ship, to be fair. Engines are crippled. Just gotta finish this off and start crippling this Custodian quickly. Although with a damaged engine, that's not likely to happen. And I didn't actually need the shield transfer there. Let me just shield transfer for this one here if it'll let me. As you can see, it's being very stubborn. Now, I don't have energy rams on this thing, but this is about to become a bit of a mess. Let's try and finish this off. I need to try and... it has no fighters, so unless I time this really badly for... When am I time it really badly for a Dictator? Or a Tyrant rather? Then I'm not going to get much of a torpedo hit. Okay. It's going after the Retribution. Now stop bugging out, please. I want to fire with torpedoes, you're not letting me though. Because of this damn debris. Oh well, probably not much I could do here. Just kill the fighters? Yeah, this thing is just not refusing to cooperate. It feels like it anyway. I know I had burned retro some. But these torpedoes are really damn important to kill this thing right now. And there's 3 ships left. Oh, I didn't even hit with a single torpedo with that said. Yeah, I may have made a lot of mistakes here. And it's part of the reason why I want the Dictator there. Because now I have no boosters to get on the flank. But I'm interested to give this a second try. I messed it up horribly there. And again, I was wondering about Earth cache favors, so I can account for that a lot better. I don't need my Widowmaker up in the front. So I'm fine with that. Now let's try and do a serious effort there. The Widowmaker is a big deal. Oh, this thing still needs to die, alas. It was weird. Again, I messed it up horribly, didn't I? I need those fighters down faster. I need to pretty much focus on the Custodian in all seriousness, because that's what's causing all the trouble. It's always causing the trouble, though. Since I can't rely on the point defense to get the kills for me, not on their own, due to the sheer amount of bombers that there are. And Rhino's combustion gauge really hindered me quite a bit. There was a lot of messed up control, and I was waiting for an opportunity to shoot with the torpedoes. And even then, the one torpedo salvo, I think, just got completely shut down there. Since the Custodian also has like the built-in messenger trait. But I'm fine giving this another try. Let's see about correcting that. I know what to do there, I just am a little bit rusty, I feel like. At least that seems like an example of it. Okay, we're going to be playing against the Imperial Navy mirror match. I'm Defender and Assassination, which really doesn't really mean much there, aside for being shot at range. Although, again, that doesn't mean much. If I have a Widowmaker in field, that's going to alleviate or negate the one advantage he's going to have for my Admiral ship, since I'm going to be able to spawn the same time he's even going to be able to shoot at me. You would think, anyway. Unless Blue has a bunch of extended weaponry that I'm not aware of. Either way, I want a Widowmaker. I hate the idea of being top-heavy. That doesn't work out well. And I shouldn't need a Dictator in any sense. What does my fleet line up, though? Look, I don't think I need 2 Widowmakers. And how does it look with here? Okay, I do get a Widowmaker from this, at least. I have the maximum health possible for my Admiral ship. So this is probably as good as it could be there. I just don't have a lot of long-range firepower, with that said. Since I'm not using the dual Overlords, which would be slightly better for the firepower potential, I just don't think I need 2 Widowmakers in any sense. It's a little redundant. And this does help make up for it. Yeah, I have 5 plasma macro batteries for the 12,000 range with this composition, whereas the dual Overlords and maybe a Dictator, which I probably wouldn't field for this one, would just be 4. It's just the Lances I'm probably missing out on. So maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit. And I basically just wait for him to come to me. This is interesting. I am seriously tempted just to sit in this asteroid belt, but if he shoots torpedoes at me, I'm going to take damage. So maybe I... No, we'll... Okay, I am going to commit to using this asteroid belt to a vague extent. But I'm not going to use it right away, either. I'm going to use it once he gets in close, because it does give me an accuracy bonus when I'm in there. So when you combine that with the brace for impact, that's going to be amazing. That's going to work out really damn well. All I need to do is survive 3 minutes. Keep in mind that he could cancel a warp. That's always a possibility. One I'm going to have to take seriously. And I probably did that angle wrong. Yeah, it's a little bit wrong because, as you can see, my Admiral ship for some reason is not going to the middle, which I'm really weird out. It went like that. Either way, let's just try and find his fleet. I don't really need to do a whole lot. He needs to come to me. He needs to come to me if he wants to do anything. And he has the boost to recharge. Don't tell me you're just going to concede this one here. It looks like he... There we go. That's more like it. That's more like it. I just gotta keep in mind he does probably have his own Widowmaker. No, he probably went with dual Overlords. Let's not kid ourselves. And we actually got hits on these things too. Now it's time for some quick math. Actually, let's just evade completely. My one tyrant's probably gonna get hit though. Can I at least take only one? 2 torpedo hits, and one of which had to be a hull breach. Now the plan must stay the same there. Let's try and utilize this gas cloud to the best of our ability. We did get some good damage in there. Yeah, dual overlords, this is no surprise. So he's kind of brain blind in that case. Although I am revealing myself at the same time. So boost on forward. And do what damage we can. Actually, let's prioritize this retribution and get ready for its destruction. I have 2 minutes to basically survive, and he would have to kind of cancel my warp if he wants to deny me getting a potentially easy victory. Now, in the asteroid belt we go. Just stand perfectly still. It's going to help with your accuracy. Some hell, it even hides you completely. That's a rule I completely forgot about considering this. And with a brace for impact, that's going to be good. It should be good. Stasis bomb, okay. That's fine. Let's see, he has micro warp jump? No, he doesn't have micro warp jump, at least not yet. I just gotta remember. Alright, just turn this thing. Get ready to hold my fire, because that's going to be a liability and a half with the stasis bomb. And I have supercharged void shields. I also have... Well, that was the wrong button. I want the shield transfer, since of course it's on different buttons. Use all your stasis bombs. Escort ship's gone, that's fine. And I'm just going to take these hits. I can't really fire because it's going to screw over my, well, rate of fire immensely here. And actually hides my ships there. Except the Admiral ship, that's a bit of a pain. Now, let's destroy weaponry. Let's try and chip these things down then. And make them pay. This is a bit of a weird one, since I basically gave him 20 free seconds to ram me and do stuff. But at the same time, I have energy prowess. Well, he has energy prowess as well, so now we gotta make these count. Do I have a shield transfer? Yes, I do. Supercharged void shield, get up for me. And try and do damage we need to. Yeah, this probably is not the most suppressive thing. We'll see. Let's see, I was hoping to cancel it there, but not that it matters that much there just yet. It's the ramming I'm kind of worried about. I did not play this the best. Those But my hand was kind of forced a little bit because of the dang micro warp, the stasis bomb. I could not shoot because that would give me like a 1 minute reload time, basically. Yeah, I played that poorly. Those 20 seconds did make a difference, but again, yeah, because if I fired normally, he was standing still, so I actually would have got to do full damage, so I argue I may have lost just because of that glitch. Because I do not want a 1.5 minute reload time on the macro batteries. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Shame on you, Blue. Shame on you for trying to use the game, what is it, broken game mechanics. Oh well, don't really have much else to say there. Let's see if we can get another real match in. It could have been straightforward if I just committed to keeping distance. I didn't really use my torpedoes the best either, in all honesty. And the asteroid belt sounded like a good idea, especially with the brace for impact, because when you use brace for impact on top of that, it does cut basically the accuracy in half, since it's minus 20 for the brace for impact, minus 20% chance to hit with the asteroid belt. Maybe not at point blank range, but then again, he wasn't at point blank range. He was just at 3,000 range to utilize his arm piercing rounds after all. Alright, let's do this seriously here. We'll go with the Double Overlords. I shouldn't need the Dictator first, since we kind of already know his fielding. Lots of raw firepower, a lot of close range firepower, lots of torpedoes. Since we know Blue likes to go top heavy, I at least have the advantage on macro batteries, torpedoes. Well, not really true with torpedoes if they throw in a Dauntless. But I do have the Lances to help, and the long range to help chip them at range. So we'll play this proper. We're not going to be wedged in the corner with him already in the middle of the map. And I do have 2 Auger Disruptors to make good use of a gas cloud at least. Actually, that would have been an easy way to deal with the dang stasis bomb, in all honesty, if I wasn't the convenience of this Admiral ship being revealed constantly. Since I was in asteroid belt, I was holding fire, I could have been invisible for the entire duration of his double stasis bombs, which would have alleviated a lot of that concern I was having there. But since the Admiral ship's always visible, it wasn't as effective as could have been anyway. Either way, let's get the Widowmaker actually in the middle. That would probably be better. And I'm expecting Blue to also have his Widowmaker out. That would be reasonable to assume, right? Actually, I don't think the points line up. You have 5 ships, so may have forfeit the Dauntless for 2 Widowmakers, maybe. Either way, let's flush them out there some. Okay, so just gonna tell me where you're at. 2 Widowmakers, that's fine. I'm not really aiming the best, but come on. Why aren't you just... I just thought I told you to do a high energy turn, you cursed things, and... Oh, that's probably because they weren't even all selected. That might be why. Gotta keep in mind I don't have a Dictator here, that's fine. Let's just keep an eye on ping latency. Keep an eye on my combustion gauge. And try and mitigate a lot of this torpedo damage. Can we shoot them down? Okay, that's the first salvo's dodged. I didn't do the best job of trying to watch. Alright, we got more torpedoes to launch. I might as well boost with this. Oh, it was already spotted too. That's interesting. When was that spotted, I wonder? Did I... Huh, that's weird. Unless the beacon ended up spotted as well. That's the only thing I could think of. What is going on here? Is it just me, or was I okay, so that was just a cruiser, okay. I'm getting really thrown off now for some reason. This is definitely not my episode. This is not my series of matches. For I'm doing this completely wrong. And those torpedoes are hitting me quite hard, notably hard, too. I am really messing this up. I am getting hits there. Let's just get the Widowmaker spot. And we can boost and dodge these still. Let's get this A game going. We're just going to zigzag. We're going to mitigate as much of this damage as we can.
retros.
Now turn.
Awaiting orders.
Get ready to cancel these things. I gotta keep in mind I'm gonna get spread out.
Resuming normal functions.
That's the big thing to be concerned here.
Yes, Admiral.
And I still took torpedo hits, so that's a bit of a shame. At least it's only a single torpedo hit.
Begin repairs now.
It's just more on several other ships than I would have liked, though.
Course plotted.
And I don't even need the Widowmaker up close anymore. It just needs to hide behind my cruisers for it to really matter.
Activating tactical cogitators. Yes, Admiral.
Alright, get these boosting.
Engines to maximum. Execute high energy turn.
Get going.
Ship ready.
And dodge these torpedoes to the best of your ability. That Widowmaker had an amazing run of point defense shots,
Awaiting orders.
I gotta say.
Burn retros.
Do some chipping damage. He is going after this thing, so we're gonna have to try and make that difficult to hit.
Initiate emergency repairs.
Keep on hitting, keep on shooting. We have a gas cloud to utilize in a moment. I just gotta be mindful that I'm gonna get isolated here.
Ship ready.
But I have supercharged voice shield to help with that regard.
Cruising speed set. Acquiring new
Widowmaker, get turning. Take a little bit of torpedo damage. Not a huge amount just yet, but we are hitting him just as hard as he's hitting us.
cruising speed set.
Now, shield transfers. That was the wrong button again. I hate the fact that it keeps changing my hotkeys on me.
Functions.
It's a little unfortunate.
Changing course. All ahead full.
You know what, let's get this going. Let's get it hitting. I should have probably turned around with that said.
Brace for impact.
But I can keep hitting these ships here.
We are the Imperial
And I have ships available.
activating tactical
And I have supercharged voice shield up. Do I have shield transfer? Yes, I do. That was probably unnecessary with that said.
coordinates acknowledged.
Now, your boosters are gone. Let's keep hitting this thing hard.
Yes, Admiral.
I have my own brace for impact available. You're going to be in the gas cloud momentarily, and you're going to be basically out of the stasis bomb in time. Just gotta remember your macro batteries are a liability, but you're soaking the damage up notably.
Orders. Activating tactical cogitators.
Yeah, this is definitely not going my way. Let's utilize these Cobras now.
Enemy ship sighted.
Because I have brace for impact, he doesn't at least, so... And I have the energy ramp, so actually this is helping me.
Setting course.
Giving me a good advantage here.
Activating
And now,
cogitators.
this ship's hitting as a result, so thankfully, the Auger Disruptor was amazing for value here.
Engines hot. We've lost an escort.
And I don't have supercharged voice shield, and I just burnt it on there too. These hotkeys are really inconvenient. I hope that's something they fix up for Armada 2. And I just shot myself, didn't I?
Orders.
A little bit. Not too much just yet.
Activating tactical cogitators.
That thing should die in a moment. This will die in a moment.
Destroyed.
Yeah, this is not going well for me. I really am off my game. I am not happy with this series of episodes.
Our ships is gone, sir.
And that was the wrong cruiser I just shot with too. And I'm not in the gas cloud anymore to utilize the Auger Disruptor to its fullest effect. Can I at least kill off these things quickly? Actually, rotate,
Normal functions.
mitigate that damage.
Setting course.
Try and finish off the other Overlord quickly. Because again, I have brace for impact, so I'm in good shape here. I don't know about his upgrades. He does have an energy ram.
Changing course.
Give us the energy ram
Yes, Admiral.
and finish off this one ship here. Yeah, we're not going to be able to kill with both these ships, but I have good ramming potential.
We've lost one of our ships.
It's not going to help me a whole lot until I fire at both of them. That's the only saving grace I have here. I really messed this up quite notably.
Orders. Understood.
I am not happy with myself. I don't really have any excuses. And here comes torpedoes in a moment.
Underway.
And I'm not even going to be able to shoot torpedoes. Yeah, he's too close now.
Set.
That wasn't as effective as it could have been.
Taking heavy damage.
Definitely not my proudest moment. I was all sorts of messed up there. It's a real shame, but at least we got some matches in. I could have done that so much more better. Just be more efficient about dodging those torpedoes. And I shouldn't need to rely on a dictator so much for that. Especially at maximum range where I could find the narrow windows to kind of fly between the torpedoes. I could do that so much more better. Just a matter of breaking ourselves in there a little bit. Getting reacclimate. Just a matter of time there. That's all I really have to say there. Because I'm not really happy ultimately with how it played out.